All right, welcome back to beekeeping at Sentinel Pines. It's been a while. All right, and you notice I'm wearing this PPE. You're going to find out, but you can see I've got some new stuff behind me. I've got this new tool, the vaporizer. I'll explain what I'm doing as I go. So here we go. Okay, so first of all, there's some new things happening on the hives. This is a mouse guard to, you guessed it, guard against mice. And what we're doing today is we're taking off the mouse guard so that we can use the oxalic acid vaporizer on the bees. Now, what is this vaporizer? Well, essentially, what this vaporizer is it vaporizes a compound called oxalic acid. And this compound, oxalic acid, will eliminate the mites that are on our bees. So any living mite that is in the hive right now will die and fall off of the bee, and that is good. This is actually our fourth treatment of the oxalic acid. And the reason that we've treated so many times is because, as you may know, the varroa mite lays its eggs inside the brood of the bee. So here's a vaporizer. What's going to happen is I'm going to put the compound in this chute. It'll be vaporized and spit out of that hole. We won't see that because that will be inside the hive when that happens. But the mite lays its eggs in the cell, the brood cell. So we treat for the mite every few days for a couple of weeks until or every few days, because the bees are going to hatch from their egg every few days. And so new varroa mites will be hatching every few days. So we treat and we knock down the population. We wait for more to hatch. We treat, knock down the population, wait for more to hatch. We treat, knock down the population, wait for more to hatch. So all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to stuff up this entry so that more of the gas, the vapor, goes into the hive and doesn't escape. Okay, so once this reaches 445 degrees, I'll take this plunger, I'll stick it in my oxalic acid. All right, so there you go. Okay, and then we'll drop it down at 444, 445. All right, drop the plunger on, press it twice. And now you might be able to see those numbers changing on that. Just the temperature. You can see maybe it is some of the gas coming out of the back end here. I'm actually surprised at how much is coming out the back end, just because the bees have been keeping things pretty tight up in here. But yeah, so I'm just noticing some of my boxes aren't super clamped together. But anyways, that's good. We're going to leave that for about a minute. And that's filling the hive with this vapor, which is eliminating the mites for us. And it's kind of interesting. You can't see them from back there, but I can see some dead varroa mites right here that the hive has been eliminating from the hive. I should say the colony has been eliminating from the hive. So yeah, we just let that go. We'll do the other one, then we'll basically put things back on. I will, at the end here, I will grab the camera and kind of show you a few things that have changed inside. I'll just pop open this one right here. This is Regina's box. Here we have Gretchen's box. And I'll show you kind of how we've set them up for winter time. We're not really going to do anything for them for winter. I don't really like how those are kind of peeling. They look kind of like they're peeling. But anyways, we're not really going to do much for them as far as winter. We're not going to wrap these hives with anything. I was thinking about doing that, but the more I learn from my mentors, the more they seem to think that's a bit ridiculous. So, okay, pull this out, and you can see a little bit of vapor still coming, but it's finished for the most part. So we'll set it up for the second one. One of the things that varroa mites bring in, and I've probably mentioned this before, is a virus that causes something called, I can't remember the name exactly, but it's something to the effect of abnormal, it will cause the bee to develop abnormal wings, making them unable to fly. And so as I'm doing this, I'm just kind of like looking at their wings. I think I've mentioned that in another video, but in case I haven't. Now I'm not using smoke today, and I'm not wearing my Carhartts, so I'm a little worried that I'm going to get zapped because they're not super active right now, but it's kind of it's a nicer day. It's not as cold as it's been. So they're a little bit more active today. And it's that time of the year where they're starting to be a little more defensive because they don't want me to eat their honey, which makes sense. Okay, now you can see that's empty. So back to the oxalic acid. Punch it in. Now it's full again. Drop her down. 1, 2. Let that go for a minute. Again, you can kind of see it escaping outside the hive. The thing is when you see these things go without, like how I'm plugging this up, oh man, do they go. There is a lot of vapor. There is a lot of vapor entering this hive right now. So the little bit that we're seeing leaking out, not a big deal. Now, you may be wondering, why do I have to wear this PPE? Well, it's because I'm just noticing some abnormal looking bees here. It doesn't look like the wing issue, but that one looks, this one looks like just not healthy. And I wonder why. Looks rather sickly. Just curious. Anyways, the PPE. I have to wear the PPE because oxalic acid is harmful to humans. It's a naturally occurring substance. In fact, plants like rhubarb have lots of it. But what the trouble is the vapors will knock the freaking wind out of you. Okay, when I clean out the machine, I take off all my masks and I have to put water into the machine and it kind of like runs a cleaning cycle on it. And the little bit of oxalic acid vapor that comes out then, I tried to, like I deliberately tried to breathe it in just to see what it would feel like. And even that little bit, oh man, it really knocks the wind out of you. So that's why I got to wear the PPE. Okay, I'm going to take the battery off just so that it doesn't waste the battery. Not doing anything because I got to clean it. Take our towel barrier off. We probably squashed a few bees doing that, but it is what it is. Okay. Put on our barrier, our mouse guard. And then I'll show you guys the little bit of stuff I've done since the last time I shot a video. I kind of stopped shooting the videos, I'm not going to lie, not because of any particular reason other than setting up the camera and setting up to shoot the video takes a little bit of time, and recently I've just been wanting to get out here, get the task done, and move on with my day. But I thought this was an interesting new thing, so I thought I'd show it to you guys. And then I thought I'd show the inside of the hive, kind of how I've got it set up. Basically, we've been feeding them liquid water for a couple of days, or for a couple of weeks, liquid syrup. But don't sting me and then die. I hate that. Like, she didn't even sting me, you know? She just stings my gloves. And that's the end for her. So, okay, so our oxalic acid treatment is done. Now, I'll show you a little bit about like what's going on in the hive. I'll do my best with the camera. So basically, we've been feeding them liquid syrup for the past few weeks, I should say. And now, we're pretty much done with that. So now what we have done is we've set up a piece of wax paper with a pollen patty in the middle and then dry sugar on top. The dry sugar is going to feed them should they need it over the winter, which they probably won't need much of it, not going to lie, because we've been feeding them, they got lots of honey. But the dry sugar will also act as a moisture barrier. So the humidity and the condensation that develops in the hive over the winter, it will, when it gets to the roof, it will condense on the roof and then it will drip onto that sugar rather than onto our bees. So that's good. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I'm not really going to film the cleaning of the vaporizer, but I'm going to clean the vaporizer now and we'll be done. So thanks for watching.